Two pit bulls burst into a hospital, causing chaos and fear in the waiting room. But what the staff did next left everyone speechless. A usual afternoon at St. Luke's Hospital in Pennsylvania turned into chaos when two strong pit bulls burst through the front doors. Patients and staff were shocked as the dogs walked into the lobby, their tongues out and tails wagging. People gasped and screamed, quickly moving out of the way. Sarah, the receptionist, almost dropped her coffee mug, staring in disbelief. The pit bulls didn't seem to notice the commotion they were causing. They sniffed around curiously, their tails still wagging as they explored the lobby. Dr. Thompson, the hospital's director, had just stepped out of the elevator when he spotted the unexpected visitors. His first instinct was to call security, but something made him pause. These dogs didn't look aggressive or mean, they looked lost. The bigger dog, with brown and black stripes, walked up to Sarah's desk and put his paws on the counter. His brown companion sat next to him, tail thumping on the floor. The woman was shocked and looked at the hospital director for directions. Should she shoo them away? Was she supposed to call the animal control? But Dr. Thompson carefully walked over, speaking softly. "Easy now," he said, extending his hand slowly. The striped pit bull tilted his head, looking at the doctor as if asking for help. He realized that their calm demeanor meant they were accustomed to humans. So, they were not strays, and since they were also quite well-groomed and fed, they must belong to someone. But how did they get here, and where were their owners? Just then, Nurse Jenny ran up out of breath. "Dr. Thompson," she exclaimed, "we have a problem upstairs. Timmy said he won't proceed with his surgery unless he sees his dogs one last time." Timmy had been in the hospital for days, recovering from a car accident that left him unable to walk and required minor surgery to correct his leg. One afternoon he was walking home from school, using the crosswalk at the intersection he crossed daily. The walk signal was on and Timmy had started across, but a distracted driver who had been looking down at his phone failed to stop at the red light. Timmy heard the screeching of tires and froze in fear. The next thing he knew, he was on the ground, a searing pain in his legs. Bystanders rushed to help, calling 911 immediately. The ambulance arrived within minutes, its sirens piercing the air. Paramedics worked quickly, stabilizing the boy and loading him onto a backboard. On their way back to the hospital, the paramedics found Timmy's school ID in his backpack, which included his emergency contact information. Upon arrival, the hospital staff immediately called the number listed. Mrs. Anderson had been in the middle of a busy workday when her phone rang. The caller ID showed St. Luke's Hospital just a few blocks from their home. Her heart raced as she answered, fearing the worst. "Mrs. Anderson?" Nurse Jenny had said calmly. "Your son Timmy has been in an accident." The world seemed to stop for Mrs. Anderson. She gripped her desk, her knuckles turning white. "Is she okay?" she had managed to ask, her voice barely above a whisper. "He's stable, but the doctor discovered that he has suffered a fracture in his leg and we need surgery to fix the leg before he can walk properly. We need you to come to the hospital right away." Mrs. Anderson hurried to the hospital feeling dazed. When she arrived, Dr. Thompson told her that a car had hit Timmy while crossing the street. "He's fortunate," Dr. Thompson said. "It could have been much worse, but he'll need surgery to fix the broken bone in his leg." For the next few days, Mrs. Anderson stayed by Timmy's side in the hospital. She slept in an uncomfortable chair next to his bed, only leaving for quick showers at home or to get fresh clothes. She watched the sunrise through the hospital window, quietly praying for Timmy to recover. The whole staff had presumed she was the only family the little boy had, but it was looking like Timmy also had two furry siblings at home, and they couldn't wait anymore to see him. Dr. Thompson remembered Timmy mentioning his beloved pit bulls during a consultation just yesterday. The boy had proudly shown him pictures on his mother's phone, pointing out Nero's distinctive brown and black stripes and Emma's pure brown coat. With this sudden recollection, Dr. Thompson looked at the dogs and said, "Nero, Emma." The dogs' ears perked up when they heard their names, and their tails started wagging even harder. Dr. Thompson laughed in disbelief. These smart pups found their way here all by themselves. Nurse Jenny was already on her phone, calling Nurse Maria at the pediatric ward. "You're not going to believe this," she said excitedly. But Timmy's dogs are here. They somehow made it to the hospital. Mrs. Anderson heard the phone conversation and rushed into the lobby, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Nero, Emma, how on earth did you get here?" she exclaimed, kneeling down to embrace the excited dogs. Dr. Thompson turned to Mrs. Anderson, his brow furrowed in amazement. "Mrs. Anderson, did you leave them in the parking lot?" She shook her head, still stroking the dog's fur. "No, I left them at home. I don't understand how they found this place." "It's remarkable," Dr. Thompson mused, watching the reunion. "They must have somehow picked up your scent and followed you here." Mrs. Anderson's eyes welled up with tears. "I've been coming back and forth for days. They must have sensed something was wrong, but to find their way here, all on their own?" Her voice trailed off in wonder. Dr. Thompson nodded, equally amazed. "The bond between animals and their humans never ceases to amaze me. These dogs walk through the busy streets and unfamiliar territory to find Timmy." "It's incredible," Mrs. Anderson agreed, wiping her eyes. "I heard stories about dogs finding their way from miles away, but I never thought I'd witness something like this myself." As the excitement settled, Dr. Thompson quickly talked with Nurse Jenny and the hospital's head of security. "These dogs somehow found their way here," he said. "I think they can do something special for the boy." Nurse Jenny nodded eagerly, seeing them could lift his spirits before the surgery. The head of security looked worried. "But bringing animals into the hospital is against the rules." Dr. Thompson raised his hand. "I understand the risks, but these dogs seemed well behaved. Let's ask Mr. Anderson and get her permission first." He explained the situation and Mrs. Anderson tearfully agreed. "Those dogs mean everything to Timmy," she said. "This could be just what he needs." Dr. Thompson talked to the hospital administrator with her permission, explaining the unique situation. After some discussion, they agreed to allow a supervised visit. Preparations began immediately. The hospital agreed to call a veterinarian to check the dogs to ensure they were healthy enough to enter a sterile environment. Dr. Thompson quickly made a call to the local veterinary clinic. "Dr. Martinez, we have an unusual situation here at St. Luke's. Could you come over immediately to check 2 pit bulls?" Within 30 minutes, the vet doctor arrived with her medical kit. She carefully examined Nero and Emma, checking their health and temperament. "These dogs are in excellent health and seem very well trained," she concluded. "I'd say they're safe to be around patients, but of course, under close supervision." Meanwhile, Nurse Maria told she had a surprise that might cheer him up. "What kind of surprise?" Timmy asked, his voice small and tired. Nurse Maria smiled warmly. "You'll see very soon. I think you're going to love it." Dr. Thompson and Nurse Jenny carefully led Nero and Emma through the hospital corridors. Staff members and patients watched in amazement as the dogs walked calmly beside them. Some people were shocked by the 2 pit bulls' incredible attitude and praised them for being so well behaved. They reached a small courtyard near Timmy's ward, chosen for its open space and fresh air. Nurse Maria wheeled the boy out and his eyes widened when he saw the familiar furry faces. Aware of the potential risks, Dr. Thompson and Nurse Maria kept the pit bulls at a safe distance from his wheelchair. However, the dogs seemed to understand that their little master needed them to be gentle right now, and simply sat down next to him, their tails thumping down on the ground in happiness. This unexpected reunion brought hope to Timmy's challenging recovery. The pit bulls' incredible journey to find their young owner not only surprised the hospital staff, but also reminded everyone of the special bond between humans and their loyal companions. Mrs. Anderson wiped away a tear, smiling at Dr. Thompson. "Thank you for allowing this. I think Timmy is fine now and ready for the surgery." The doctor returned the smile. "We'll start the surgery within the hour. I promise we'll take excellent care of him." As Timmy was wheeled back to his room to prepare for surgery, Nero and Emma whined softly, sensing the impending separation. Dr. Thompson knelt beside them and spoke gently. "Don't worry, you two. You'll see him again soon." Mrs. Anderson accompanied Timmy to the pre-op room, holding his hand as the anesthesiologist explained the procedure. Still buoyed by the visit from his beloved dogs, the boy nodded bravely. "I'm ready," he said, his voice small but determined. In the operating room, Dr. Thompson and his team worked meticulously to repair Timmy's fractured leg. The surgery lasted several hours, with Mrs. Anderson anxiously waiting outside, drawing comfort from Nero and Emma, who had been allowed to stay in a nearby courtyard under the supervision of a kind-hearted volunteer. Finally, Dr. Thompson emerged from the operating room, tired but smiling. "The surgery was successful," he announced. "Timmy did great. He's in recovery now and should wake up soon." Mrs. Anderson burst into tears of relief and hugged the doctor. Thank you so much," she said, her voice choked with emotion. As Timmy was moved to the recovery room, Nero and Emma seemed to sense the change in the atmosphere. They sat up straighter, their ears perked forward. Over the next few days, Timmy's recovery began in earnest. The hospital staff, touched by the dog's devotion, worked with Mrs. Anderson to move the little boy to a private ward so Nero and Emma could visit him. The dog's presence had an unexpected effect on Timmy's recovery, but to many other patients as well. Children who had been withdrawn or resistant to their treatments began to look forward to Nero and Emma's visits. Dr. Thompson, impressed by the positive impact, approached Mrs. Anderson with an idea. "What would you think about Nero and Emma becoming therapy dogs for the hospital?" he asked. "They seem to have a natural talent for it." Mrs. Anderson's eyes lit up. "That's a wonderful idea. But how would we arrange it?" "We can work with a local therapy dog training program," Dr. Thompson explained. "They could receive official certification and visit the hospital regularly to help other patients, just like they've been helping Timmy." As Timmy's discharge date approached, preparations were made for the dog's new role. They underwent training and passed their certification. The day the boy was ready to go home, the entire pediatric ward gathered to say goodbye and thank him for sharing his incredible dogs. Timmy, now able to move around on crutches, hugged his furry friends tightly. "You're going to help so many kids," he said proudly, "just like you helped me." As they pulled into their driveway, Timmy's heart swelled with love and pride. His accident had been scary, but it had revealed the true heroes in his life. His loyal, loving dogs who had turned a painful experience into a beautiful new beginning for so many. Have your furry friends ever surprised you with their intelligence or loyalty? Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories about the wonderful things animals can do.